And this is the Mercedes-Benz Rangers postgame show, and for the 117th consecutive day, the Broadway hat will not find a rightful recipient in a third straight Ranger win. Rangers split the weekend, so this is how the Eastern Conference standings look. It stands with the Rangers above the cut line at 72, but they don't gain ground. The Canadiens are a point behind. The Blue Jackets and Red Wings 2 behind. The Bruins still believe that they have a chance. They are 4 back, but the Rangers do not add to their 2-game win streak. It's now over after a 3-1 loss to the Edmonton Oilers. Hi, everyone, inside our Delta MSG studios from the Garden, alongside Steve Valiquette. I'm John Giannone. We heard Sam and Joe say this game was somewhat similar to Tuesday in Winnipeg, but it certainly seemed like both teams were trying to steal a page from each other's same book.
Well, that's funny because I was going to say that, but I was getting wired up at that moment, so I didn't hear them say that, but that's exactly what this was. The game is so much like Tuesday, and the only reason why it's on your radar in a negative frame is because during a 6-week stretch, the Rangers were 4-15. So every loss now gets magnified because it's not a marquee win that we're talking about right now. We're talking about another loss. It's not a bad loss if that 6-week stretch that they had where they stunk never happened. This would just be another game in a season of 82 games and you'd move on. It was a well-played game. It was a close game. It could have gone either way. Now, the Rangers, when they were at the 2-1 deficit third period, they lock it down with a 1-3-1. And, you know, the hard part is they're not going to back-to-back game plus travel, etc. They're not going to have a lot left to go rush for rush with Edmonton. That wasn't the game that they were in. They didn't want to play that game. But look, I think all in, it's still a solid week, and you continue to build. You don't like the loss, and you've got to move on. Yeah,
the effort for sure was win-worthy, but the offensive production just not enough. Credit Skinner, the goaltender of Edmonton, for what he was able to do. But the Rangers lose this one 3-1 the final. Let's hear from JT Miller, where we start the Rangers' reaction in the losing dressing room with Michelle Gingras.
JT, I know not the result that you wanted, but third game in 4 nights. What did you think of the effort by your team tonight?
It's a good effort. It's a hard game. Pretty quick bounce back and hard-fought game. Playoff-style game. Came down to special teams, really, and could have went either way. It's a hard-fought game.
Do you feel like maybe that's where you guys came up short tonight, special teams? Was that the big difference maker, or any other areas where you felt like maybe just weren't good enough in the end?
We gave up one on the penalty kill, but I thought we killed pretty well. Power play could, we had some looks. Maybe cut a couple more shots. That's a heavy pressure penalty kill. Tried to shoot them when we got a chance to, but it's the games are so tight. So when you have the extra man, you got to take advantage of it.
You kind of alluded to it a little bit, but just the way you guys have been able to consistently build defensively tonight, just another example of a strong defensive game. What's been the key to that for you guys lately?
Just buy-in. I think everybody, we want to have an identity as a group, and obviously being hard to play against defensively is at the top of that, agenda for us. If we want to be playing in April and May, we have to continue to do that. The effort, the battle, I feel like the commitment was there for most of the game, obviously. Hard fought, could have went either way. Like I said, special teams is a big part this time of year, and they got the one man advantage and we didn't. So,
just last one, just for Will to get the goal is his 18th, but just kind of the way he continues to score these goals, just being around the net, the relentless effort. What do you notice about that?
He's a bit of a bull. He's fast, physical, obviously. Has good touch around the net. He's a good power forward.
Thoughts from JT Miller. Again, like you would expect, he appreciated the effort. Playoff-style game is what he called it, but he kind of focused on special teams being the difference.
Well, I think the approach, John, on the special teams, it was just a little bit misguided. There's one thing about Skinner. Now, put yourself in the skates of those guys in the locker room. They watch hockey every day. They watch the NHL highlights. They don't see Edmonton play a lot, but if they watch Skinner at all, they know that he labors in his movement from side to side. But that's more specific to off the rush. In zone, on a penalty kill where you move it east to west on him, he can get around because he plays really deep. He's big. He's like Hellebuck. So his save percentage east to west in zone, whether he's killing a penalty or at 5-on-5, is a little above league average. So even though you may think this is a goalie that going into the game, I want to move all night long, specific only to off the rush. Where he is weakest is point shots with screens, broken plays, net front, and I don't think the Rangers had enough of that. So if they had a mulligan on this one, I think that they would remove all of the east to west attempts on that specific power play against that specific goalie and play a little more from the points.
If you were with us from the beginning of the broadcast, tonight was a Chase spotlight night, and we spotlighted the goaltender, Igor Shesterkin, who allowed 1 in the first and then 2 in the third. Take us through his evening and what it was when you shined the spotlight on the goals, what it was that Edmonton took advantage of.
Well, I thought that he had a great first period. The goal at the end of the first period was a bit of a clumsy misread in front on a power play that was, earned. But it wasn't something that I said during the halfway mark of the period, oh, Shesterkin looks tired or anything like that. I thought he battled hard, lost position on a net front goal himself, and he's not happy about it. But overall, solid up until that point. Now this goal, it's interesting. This shot from right here, had it just gone in clear, these are the stats over the last 4 years. He has a 94% chance to make this save, but because it goes off of Zach Jones' stick, now that broken play results in the reason why it goes in, because it's from so far outside the slot area. Whereas this shot, it's Connor McDavid, he's coming in full speed, he gets the puck on edge, and he gets to the slot area. So that's a much more dangerous shot. It's a high danger chance. Although Shesterkin had a clear look at it, I wouldn't compare that to the Arvidsson one. The Arvidsson one, I always feel this way. Coaches, when I talk to them about this, they say, we want to kill the play as far away from our net as possible. I argue that if you're late, don't put your stick there because the goalie's going to stop at 95% of the time if he has a clean look at it. You risk scoring on your own goalie if you're late and you reach. So I would say let him shoot from there because he's from outside the slot.
So 3-1 the final. Rangers lose to the Edmonton Oilers. Let's hear from Will Borgen. He played more than 19 minutes in tonight's game. Michelle spoke with him a moment ago.
Just not the result you guys were looking for, obviously, but what did you think your team's effort overall tonight?
I thought it was great. Coming home from travel on a back-to-back, I thought we worked hard. We just couldn't score, so.
How do you look at a game like that? Do you take the positives away to have such a complete effort from your group? Is that something you feel like you can kind of continue to build upon?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's a highly skilled offensive team over there, and, I thought we played well defensively. I thought we played hard, just got to find a way to put more pucks in the net.
JT was saying maybe too just kind of a battle of special teams tonight. Special teams kind of being the difference maker. What did you think about your team on the penalty kill specifically, just the way you guys were able to defend for the most part?
I thought it was good, yeah. I mean, a lot of penalties. I thought we did a good job. That's, probably one of the best power plays in the league, if not the best. So, yeah.
Did you feel like in the second period you were able to kind of generate a little bit more offensive production? It felt like you guys were in the zone a little bit more, in their zone, kind of pressuring. Did it feel different for you in that second period?
No, not necessarily. I thought the whole game was a little bit of back and forth. They had their pushes, we had ours. Yeah, I thought we had quite a few chances in the third too.
How excited are you for the rest of this week with 3 more home games to quickly wipe this one off and get back on track?
Yeah, can't wait. This is a fun time of year, trying to get points every night. Yeah, it's a tight race, and every game matters a ton right now, and yeah, so they're all fun.
So Will Borgen sort of summarizing pretty well what transpired tonight, but I think from a defensive effort, right down and almost until Connor McDavid's goal there at the end of the game, they should have been proud of the way they defended.
Yeah, and I think that their neutral zone has been much better. And look, even against this team in Edmonton that can fly through the neutral zone, they really did neutralize a lot of the off-the-rush play. This was not by any means a rush game. McDavid's goal, of course, at the end is off the rush, but this is when the game's starting to open up a little bit because the Rangers have to get back in it. But overall, when you go through Winnipeg, Minnesota, last night Columbus, and this game this evening, those are 4 games where you're saying to yourself, that's a good week of defensive hockey. And you know what you do? Your video meeting tomorrow, you have a lot of good D clips to reinforce it. I can remember a few plays that Borgen himself made tight to the net, laying down in the right moments. This was a really good step in the right direction defensively for the team. If they defend like this, they're going to get in. right? We know that.
Yeah.
So that's where they're at right now, and I think they're in a good spot.
And you heard Will Borgen talk about the week coming up for the Rangers. Tuesday, Calgary, Thursday, Toronto, Saturday, Vancouver, all here at the Garden. It's the start of a special week here at the Garden with the Rangers, with the MSG Network, because it's a Salute to Sam week, where we honor the 40-year legendary career of our one and only Sam Rosen.
One of the joys of the job is the realization that I have watched the greatest players in the world play at the top of their profession. Giving you the business. It's always pleasant to walk into the Garden because you always see a friendly face.
Enjoy the game, everyone.
The gloves dropped. Sam Carrick involved with Stillman. Oh boy.